Hi there! This presentation is entitled Music and Relaxation. My name is Amanda Markham. I am a music therapy major and I chose this particular presentation because I plan on going into hospice music therapy. As a hospice music therapist, I would go to clients' individual homes or wherever they are choosing to complete their final journey, and I would provide individualized and live music experiences for them. Some of these experiences could be active, so the client could have some instruments and they could be playing along with me, or they could be receptive and the client could just be listening to either some favorite songs of theirs or some very meaningful songs throughout their lives. This particular presentation comes from the book titled Receptive Methods in Music Therapy: Techniques and Clinical Applications for Clinicians, Students, and Educators, written by Denise Groff. This particular chapter is titled Receptive Methods and Relaxation for Adults. Generally for music therapy literature, it's divided up with children, special needs individuals, and adults. So adults includes any adults with mental health issues, including older adults. There are generally then specifications beyond there, but that's what this chapter is including with that. Slide 2 is discussing the theoretical framework. As we know, exercises can take place in many different positions. However, generally most of the clients I work with in hospice are going to be bedbound for a variety of medical reasons or just general lack of energy. As we know, some benefits of relaxation include reduced stress and tension, reduce anxiety before procedures, or in this case, before important life events such as the end of life or potentially saying goodbye to a loved one. It can alleviate or distract from pain, which is often a very large concern of clients as they're entering the end of life. It can also help regulate breathing. In aged care facilities with older adults, relaxation has been shown to reduce agitation in clients with dementia, provide a peaceful experience, and enhance the experience of listening to music, which can improve overall well-being. Generally, in these older adult care facilities, improving overall well-being is one of the main goals of the staff. Music therapists pay extra attention and care into every musical decision that goes into a session. They believe that every musical element contributes to a factor that can contribute to change within the session. It is their belief that music is the primary motivating factor for change within the session that has an opportunity to positively influence the client's life. Therefore, the therapist pays extra attention when making musical decisions. They want to ensure that every musical decision is to best benefit the client's success. In music and relaxation exercises in particular, the music therapist makes sure that the voice stays fairly consistent throughout. You don't want a lot of variance in the vocal pitch. You want to make sure that it's consistent and relaxing. You want the dynamic to be consistent as well. You don't want to be getting very loud and then very quiet. You want to stay one somewhat quiet pitch throughout. Much like I mentioned, you want the script to mention when the music begins and ends. You want the music itself to consist of 1 to 2 simple chords. You want those chords to not remind the client of any familiar song. You want those chords to not remind the client of any familiar emotion or familiar holiday or other situations such as that. You want them to be simply background and supportive music. Additionally, you don't want these chords to be either major or minor, as the client might have associations with that sort of music or musical quality. This is an example of a chord progression that can be used with any of the music and relaxation methods mentioned on the 4th slide. As mentioned in the paper, this is not going to be a recognizable melody to anybody listening. This is not going to be something that is going to be very extravagant or very catchy. Often as musicians, we're very tempted to make a piece of music extremely extravagant and extremely well written with a lot of aesthetic qualities. In this instance, the music is meant to be supportive. And if the music is too decorative, then it would be distracting from the relaxation script that is going on while the music itself is being played. Like I mentioned, it's meant to be a supportive element, so you will notice that it is rather repetitive, it is rather simple, and the dynamics stay fairly similar throughout. That chord progression could potentially repeat for as long as desired or as long as the script requires, and it could continue to be relaxing throughout. As a music therapist, it would be important to remind the client before the music begins, verbally, the music is about to begin. Again, after the exercise is almost complete, you would want to remind the client verbally, the music is about to end. This is extremely important because it is important that the client doesn't feel surprised, scared, or nervous by any element of the music. The music is always supposed to be a supportive and positive element for change within a music therapy session. Therefore, the music therapist does everything within their power to support a positive relationship between the client and the music. This chapter just so happened to contain a case study from a music therapist who utilizes mindfulness practices within their music therapy practice. This hospice client and this hospice music therapist used a PMR script over top of the client's preferred music. Preferred music is often used in music therapy. It's thought by many music therapists that preferred music helps engage clients and keep them active throughout the session. In the mindfulness section of this particular case study, which is very rare for a normal music therapy case study, it discusses that this particular relaxation had the client focusing on the room around them. And it had them naming and labeling any negative associations with the room around them or with their illness or phase in life as negative. This allowed the client to label the struggle and allowed it to let go. Music has the potential to help some individuals decrease their perception of pain and anxiety at the end of life by being supportive during relaxation exercises. Musical elements are extremely important to consider when structuring these exercises, as they can affect the way that the client responds overall, both physically and mentally emotionally. Music relaxation has the potential to help many hospice clients. And I hope that as research of hospice and music therapy continues to expand, this will be a particular topic that continues to get expansion and attention.